Okay, this is round 2. I'm against Santis. They have very kindly said that we can stream this. This is an interesting opening hand. It's kind of tempting to keep this. I think I might. I really need to draw into like pinhole. It's so 50-50 of whether this is good or not. I think I'm gonna mulligan. That's fine. That's more ice. Good luck. Have fun. Uh, um, Okay, we have anemones, which is great. We've got Thimble Rig, which we might be able to use to jam something in a new remote. Not great against Criminal because they're likely on Amakua. We've got Divert Powers to divert the anemones. Okay, so I think we probably hedge. Let's get an enemy on HQ. We're going to put this anemone on Archives because it looks like a Performance. Okay, they are playing Sable, so I'm not sure what to expect here. Maybe Deep Dive. I think I'm not too scared of Deep Dive. But Sable can also just give good pressure. For diverts here is not bad because we can get rid of this Thimble Rig. This is fine. So now we can put the Thimble Rig out. We can always divert the Thimble Rig at some point. Info Bounty, they're going to get value here. We'd get very poor send a message value if they hit one here. So I think we probably don't res anything if they send a message there, which is a bit rubbish. They're going to see the top of R&D, which is not ideal because they know exactly what they need to prepare for. So I may draw once here. Let's see what we get. We got a tracker. Let's draw once and an anemone. I think I might want the anemone on R&D. And then I'm just going to take a credit. I don't want to flip and show this to get a credit off it because I'd rather click it 3 times next turn. Okay, so we have anemones on all the servers. They've got a Unity. That's scary for the fact that this is only protected by a Thimble Rig. So let's get an Anansi on there. That protects us against boomerangs and inside jobs as well. We've got archives here. I think they're probably not going to be too keen to run until they find their Bagolta. Unfortunately, they're unlikely to run with a Bagolta in hand, but we can snipe with an enemy. But we'll just see. So we're going to stick this DNA tracker somewhere. I think we're probably going to put it on HQ. We've got Paperclip, which is an interesting choice. I wonder if that means they've already got a Bagolta in hand. Okay, we have a tier. We're going to keep the tier in hand. Because if we find a nanny grid, then we want to be able to chip it into hand with the enemy res. We could also hands eye it. But let's see what we get here. this. We're just gonna make an absolute ton of money. I don't. It's kind of good because we don't necessarily then have to Aginfusion their diversions, which is good for us. I mean, a large part of me would love it if this was a Rashida. I do need a second piece of ice on R&D. Archives is fine because Archives is fine because they can't pinhole. I guess they could pinhole. Do I resin an enemy here? I don't think I do. They've got a lot of cards in hand. If they had a Begolter, they probably res it here. They install it here. And that's the only thing I really want to hit. So I'm just going to let them in here. Doesn't feel great because it's given them a lot of value. Now we do have send a message. Oh, they hit a nanocivic grid. Okay, that's a shame. That's a real shame. We couldn't have stopped though, outside of booping them somewhere. I think if I was them, I'd be running again here. So we could put the tier on R&D. I don't love it as a play. Like it's almost better on archives. So that you've always got it for that particular boop. My opponent has too many cards in hand. You surely don't need them all. Oh, they're playing. You have the tech. I think I just trash this here. Not the best time to use it. So I think I'm going to trash this. There's no point in me resing in an enemy at this point. Because it does nothing. And then I guess I divert it actually. Okay, so maybe actually I just res it and then I divert. So I'm going to take some more. Now I have to put this on R&D, which is a shame. Yeah, maybe, and I could have diverted the enemy, and then I could have res the Anansi, and then we're in actually a much better situation here. I'm just going to keep moneying up here, which doesn't feel great. I want to be putting on more pressure, but I mean, at least we can res our Chiachis if it comes to it. But I feel like I'm going a bit too slow. This deck doesn't want to go super fast. They lost a pinhole to the wake, which is big. Okay, they're gonna want to start running HQ soon to get in that wake. Let's see what options we get here. Okay. Anansi is really good here, and then I'd probably put the thimble rig. Where do we put the thimble rig? I think we put the thimble rig on archives. So we've got 2 ice on all our servers. That feels pretty good. Okay, they have their Begolta, so they can kind of start running now. And we haven't been putting on a lot of pressure, so we haven't managed to make them spend a lot of money. So we really need to start finding our nanocivic grid. So we're going to pop this now to get back in an enemy, and we'll get back one of the nanocivics. This is not ice. We could push for an oboe. I don't hate pushing for an oboe here. No, I want to get an external ice resed first, so we're gonna take 3 here. I think we put the spin in server 1, and then I think most likely I think we might hands eye the magnet, so we've got a face down and a run in archives, which feels quite good. HQ is safe here because we've got this anemone, so we can dump this oboe if we need it. So that feels fine. Got a bit of extra draw next turn. They do have a lot of money. I could purge next turn. I think I res this DNA 100%. I'm gonna probably res both here though. Doesn't feel great. But I like having the boot targets. I don't love giving them super good pinholes. Paying 6 though is good enough. We're going to res the enemies so that they can't steal this oboe because it's not there anymore. They lost a pinhole. That's good. We might even manage to get them to fake out. So we could divert next turn to get something nasty resed. I'm not somewhat considering purging. This is going to be click for 10, which is serious. And when they've got to wake up, wake up. Let's see what we draw. I'm not against purging. That maybe changes things. Okay, we're gonna res the oboe. We'll res the spin doctor here. I think we can go for a Genesis play. They technically do have enough money. I'd love this to be safer. But if they run HQ for 2 cards, I think they're going to find the Regenesis no matter what. Thing is, we don't want to put back in. We don't want to put back in the Oboe if that's the case. We could draw some more. I don't hate that actually. Let's de-res both of these. I think we res. I think we res the Anansi on R&D. We've got enough money to. So let's draw again. Well, that's actually not great now. So now I think we just. You now have to shuffle back in. Take a credit. Get rid of these 2. This is a little tricky here. I'm not sure what I'd do if they run archives. I res this anemone. And then shuffle back for a Genesis. And one of the Oboes. We've got a bit of a problem if they run HQ. Because if they steal this Regenesis, we're not in a great spot. So we could put the anemone here on server 1. I think we might put the DNA tracker on server 1. We could purge here. Let's see what we draw. We draw money, which we kind of don't need. Okay. I think I'm going to go for a Regenesis play here, and we'll see what happens. Put this in server 1. Put this on server 1. Take a credit. I'm pretty sure our over in the bin is safe. Unfortunately, they'll flip it back up if they do run. So I think I ag them here because I think I can get them to waste. I think they then pinhole me after I Aginfusion them. The other thing would be to pop the anemone. If I Aginfusion them, where is best? Probably R&D. Now they get money back from R&D, which is a shame, but if they continue, this tier is probably pretty brutal. So we're going to go R&D. I think they're going to then pinhole us, which is why I kind of didn't put the Keeling in there. Let's see if they want to continue. So I think I res it. This is very expensive for them. They've already got their money back. So this is 6, 7, 8, 9. And I can still defend this server. I can res both if I want to. That was such a ridiculous money start. Yeah. Now they're going to get Sable value and they're going to get info bounty value. If they steal an oboe, pretty bad for them. If they steal a send a message, it's not that great. They got another nanocivic grid. I would actually write, like, if they take enough credits. So I think they were planning for the pinhole here. To do that, they want to take enough credits to trash Keeling. So they either put down a misbones or they click for some credits and then they pinhole. Oh, they can click for 12. Maybe we do. Maybe we might purge next time. If they don't click this fermenter. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we have to res the anemone here, unfortunately. What are we trashing? I don't want to trash a Keeling. We're gonna have to trash a Regolith. That's fine. We can't put it in the server for a while. Okay, we got a forged. We got a Mad Dash. They're on the forged tech. So it's still costing them more money. They couldn't draw. Ah, they can draw here and then take the oboe, which is awkward. But if we hadn't resed, then they see the oboe and they Mad Dash back. So res was correct, which feels good. Unfortunately, our Regenesis play is off the table, and now we're going to wish that this was the Keeling rather than Regenesis. Okay, so let's draw. Let's draw. We'll put this on archives. So we could hope that they run HQ here. They run HQ. We might have an anemone into Regenesis play with a sender message that's in hand. The mark is archives. Okay, chance we get a little bit disturbed here. We'll find out. Having a big think. Right, let me just make sure this is still working. Yes, it appears to be. Okay, so I can res the DNA tracker, which I think is better because I think I want the other boop here. So I boop them over here. I want to have another one on the inside in case they run again next turn. So this is like 6. And then yeah, okay, so they're having to think here because they know that if I boop them anywhere, they're going to have to pay another 6, or a boop from Unity and Nancy, and they have to pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5. So it's the DNA tracker is the better option. Although if they then hit the sender message, okay, they can continue here. I think I make them go out HQ. Because I think if they continue on HQ, I can put the sender message in the bin. I could run the bin then though. But I don't know if they will. I have got archives as a I've got archives as a mark. So I think I just go R&D. I think this is safer. So here we just take 3 credits and we ditch the oboe. Is it safe-ish? I think they don't really want to run anywhere this turn. So I think they might gamble and then they could run. But I think we get a turn here to score for Regenesis. If they run archives, unfortunately, we might have to res. Might have to res this enemy. We'll consider it. Okay. So we get the regen here. We can discard a magnet. They see the spice. Next turn, depending on what we draw, we might Hands Eye something into the bin and put a Rashida in the remote. It will kind of force them to run it. They might also run archives. If we draw a Nanocivic, what do we do then? If we draw a Nanocivic, we probably don't actually have anything great. So Nanocivic's not that great here. Okay, they're going in. They could hit to send a message. We could res an enemy to do some damage. Or we could res this in Nancy. I don't think we res here. They're not getting their mark, so this is fine. Let's see. 2 trashables, 1 agenda. Oh, they see 2 as well. See a Hanzai, see a Rashida. Nuts. Well, there goes our potential money for next turn. Let's do this to get some money back, and then we're gonna put the Keeling here. HU's quite safe because we can always res the enemy. We've got a divert play next turn, which is nice. I have it on the Keeling. We might just divert this Anansi. Probably more likely to divert the Anansi. As much as the whole get a fast Keeling up is great. I think we prefer the money here. Like the free ice, or not quite free ice, but kind of free. So it costs 2, and it's going to reduce it by 6, so it's going to reduce it by 4. So the Anansi will cost 4. So we can divert and then like click for 2 credit. They do run. Still haven't found any nanocivic grids. They found them all. If not, then we're just going to click for 3 credits. Okay, HQ's a mark. Probably tempted to run here. We can res both anemones if we want to. And we would. Because then we get full divert power on. This is interesting. Oops, sorry. No, continue. So I don't actually want to resist an enemy here because I don't want to discard either of these cards, which is awkward. They're gonna see archive. Oh, they're gonna steal an oboe. Okay. We could have protected the oboe here. Maybe we should have protected the oboe. I think to protect the oboe, we basically have to give them the sender message. They might not steal it. There's a chance they don't steal it. So we might also need to draw next turn. It's a bit awkward if we draw into other agendas, specifically non-oboe agendas. Like, we don't want them to score our last Regenesis. They're thinking on this oboe steal. Okay, they take it. They draw 4. I think we are going to res the Keeling. We're going to start forcing the issue. We do draw into more agendas. We'll draw 1. And we'll... It's going to... it means that we can res this Anansi, which is good. and is worth doing. Is it worth doing, actually? If we do that, then they could run... yeah, because they have to pay. So then they couldn't get through HQ. Unless they have, like, inside job? R&D is their mark, which was great, because they can't run R&D. Ever. Not ever, but I think it's about 16 credits or something. Something silly. We now have a Baphonomus in hand, which means that if we can pull a Nanocivic from somewhere without them trashing them, then we're actually pretty good to go. Somewhat close to grinding them out of cards. They've got 9 left in stack. 5 in hand. Oh, I missed the fact that either they discarded or maybe they lost an inside job. I guess they must have lost it to damage. There are no pinholes left. I have only just realised that. Well, okay, so we could just get the Keeling kill here. So if we draw a Nanocivic now, it goes on server 1. I'd love a bit more money, but we're not going to draw into any easy to play money. I guess there's no hand size left. 1 hedge in 15. So I think we're probably clicking for 2 credits next turn. And then if we get the nanny grid, it's going on server 1. If we don't, we're clicking for 3 credits, probably. Oof. Okay, that's rough. That is quite rough. If they run HQ, we have to resist an enemy. They're going this turn. They're going this turn. Okay. So are they going to have enough to trash it? I don't think they are. Anansi costs. It'll cost us 8 to res. It will cost them 1. Cost them 4, 5, 6, 7. Whoa, they can only just actually break it. They're going to have 2 left. So they're going to get bravado money here. But they're not going to be able to trash this. Is there anything I'm missing here? They're going to have 1 Paragon credit. They're going to have exactly 3 credits. This makes it harder for them to run here next turn. So Bravado Money is going to be good. At least you could break credit. So we're clicking for free here. Just don't draw. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Can we discard? I think we discard an oboe here. I think the oboe is super safe in archives, and then we can get rid of one sender message if they run HQ with the enemy. They have 11 this turn. Can't remember how much it cost for them to go through here. Maybe I should have put one more piece of ice. Maybe I should have put one more piece of ice. DNA tracker is 6. And Nancy is 7. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They can click for free credits. They'll be at 14. They'll get 1 Paragon. They'll get 2 back from God. I think they can just clear this. But if they do, I think we can score a sender message next turn. Okay, they drew 1, which means, I think, unless they gamble. If they gamble run, we might be boned. I did forget that gamble was a card. I'm not expecting overclocks or anything. There's a chance they run archives, which is fine. There's a chance we don't res if they run archives. Is that no? That's just crazy. Yeah. Can they do this? Let's see. I think they made the right play here. I think we should have. Okay, can we Regenesis next turn? Maybe. Do we want to Regenesis for the win? Biovolt could be really good here. Uh, this is quite hard. Okay, the Chiashi is the worst thing here because we definitely can't res it, even though like it would be really good if it could break it. I think we're gonna go for a Regenesis turn play next turn. Maybe we want to put the biovolt in though. So let's go tier next. I think we want to draw the biovolt. We're not going to draw a card. Okay, so HQ is actually safe until they draw at least a couple of cards. So here we can get this biovolt going. Oh, we are one short of rezzing both an enemies. That no, I don't think they can. They don't have the money to run. They don't have the money to run enough here. So I think we're okay. Game has gone quite long. Uh-oh, we've got 16 minutes left. Okay, so now I can jam the Regenesis. Drop this. They're right. I should have just put a send a message in there. They can't get through that server. I'm an idiot. I guess inside job. Inside job into. Okay, they're playing a card here. Now they're going to have an extra click. They're going to have one click. I think they're going to have enough clicks here. This is a bit sketchy. Let's see what they do. So this is fine. I just bounce them. Yeah. Into R&D. Now it's GG. Gets the double Regenesis score. I'll quickly set up the next one. We have 15.